Hello, students. It's nice to see you again, and welcome to episode 67 of our online English lesson. Today, we are talking about some important events in American history, as usual, and I really like this topic. This topic was inspired by a returning member to the Chit Chat Club, Emiko. Emiko came in, and we were talking about our sort of favorite people in history, and she mentioned Frank Sinatra. And I know Emiko also loves singing jazz music. So it got me thinking about the history of jazz, Frank Sinatra, and his legacy in America. And that's what I want to talk about today. I think it's really interesting, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's topic. Let's jump in. The title of today's article is called The History of Jazz, Frank Sinatra, and Las Vegas. Let's start with the birth of jazz. Jazz emerged in the 20th century in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a blend of African rhythms, European harmonies, and American blues. The city's diverse cultural mix created a perfect place for the development of this new music style. Early jazz was characterized by improvisation, syncopation, and strong emphasis on rhythm. African rhythms were a major influence on the development of jazz. African American musicians who had been enslaved in the United States brought with them a rich musical tradition that included complex rhythms, call and response patterns, and improvisation. Let's look at each one of those characteristics and give a little more information about each one. Rhythm. Jazz rhythms are often complex and have a lot of beats happening at the same time. This is because jazz musicians often play different rhythms at the same time. This creates a very interesting and exciting sound. Improvisation. Improvisation is a key element of jazz. Jazz musicians often improvise on the spot, creating new melodies and rhythms. This is what makes jazz so exciting and unpredictable. Call and response. Call and response is a common musical technique in African American music. It involves a soloist who sings or plays a phrase and a group of musicians who respond with a similar phrase. This technique is often used in jazz to create a sense of interaction and dialogue between the musicians. The early years of jazz were a time of great experimentation and innovation. Musicians were constantly pushing the boundaries of the genre, and they were developing new techniques and styles. This period of creativity and exploration laid the foundation for many different styles of jazz that would emerge in the decades to come. Let's move on to Frank Sinatra, the voice of the Rat Pack. Frank Sinatra was one of the most popular and influential singers of the 20th century. He was known for his smooth, velvety voice and his charismatic stage presence. Sinatra was a member of the Rat Pack, a group of entertainers that included Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. The Rat Pack was famous for their glamorous lifestyle and their association with the Las Vegas mob. They were known for their extravagant parties, their fast cars, and their beautiful women. They were also known for their gambling and their drinking. The Rat Pack's lifestyle was often seen as the symbol of the American dream. They were living the high life, and they were doing it in style. Let's move on to Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. As we have previously discussed in an earlier video, Las Vegas is a city built on entertainment. It's home to some of the best casinos, hotels, and shows in the world. In the 1950s and 1960s, Las Vegas was also a hotbed for jazz music. Many of the biggest stars, including Frank Sinatra, performed in Las Vegas clubs and casinos. Sinatra's performances in Las Vegas helped to put the city on the map as a major entertainment destination. He was a major draw for tourists, and his shows were always packed. Sinatra's performance in Las Vegas also helped to popularize jazz music. He brought jazz to a wider audience, and he helped to make it a more mainstream genre. We'll talk about the Mafia and Las Vegas next. The Las Vegas mob played a significant role in the development of the city's entertainment industry. Mobsters invested in casinos and hotels, and they often controlled the entertainment that was offered. This gave them a lot of power over the careers of musicians and other entertainers. Frank Sinatra had close relationship with the Las Vegas mob. He performed at mob-owned casinos and hotels, and he was friends with several mobsters. Some people have even suggested that Sinatra was a member of the Mafia himself. Ooh. The decline of jazz in Las Vegas. In the 1970s, the popularity of jazz began to decline. Rock and roll and other musical genres became more popular. As a result, many jazz clubs in Las Vegas closed their doors. Despite the decline of jazz in Las Vegas, Frank Sinatra's legacy lives on. He is still one of the most popular singers in the world, and his music continues to be enjoyed by millions of people. Sinatra's connection to Las Vegas also helps keep the city's jazz heritage alive. Jazz music has a long and rich history in the United States. It is a music that has been influenced by many different cultures and styles. Frank Sinatra was just one of the most popular and influential jazz singers of the 20th century. He helped to popularize jazz music, and he made a significant contribution to the development of Las Vegas as an entertainment destination. All right, that's all for today's article. Let's move on to our vocabulary. Just a moment. Whoa. Oh, okay. I can't show you the vocabulary today because I changed some of the computer settings on my computer, and I think it's going to be difficult to do. Anyway, I'll just read them to you. Please look at the vocabulary on the article in the link below. So, vocab word number 1 is emerged. Emerged. Emerged means to become visible or important. And this is in the very first sentence. It says jazz emerged in the 20th century in New Orleans, Louisiana. So it became prominent. People started noticing it, and it became visible. Number 2, improvisation. Improvisation. Improvisation is a piece of music or drama or something acted or created spontaneously. Spontaneously means without preparation. So improv comedy or improv acting is when someone says, pretend you're an old man, ready, action, and then they just start going. There's no thinking, there's no preparation. It's just acting on the spot. Number 3 is syncopation. This was a new word for me too. It's the first time I saw this, so I looked it up and I read about it. And it's a very interesting musical style. It's the practice of changing the beats or accents in music or a rhythm so that the strong beat becomes weak and the weak beat becomes strong. So it's when these two different beats start changing their levels. Syncopation. It's very popular in jazz music. I think it's why jazz sounds so unique and exciting and always changing. Number 4, pushing the boundaries. So this is an expression, pushing the boundaries. It means to act in a way that goes beyond what's normal or expected. So in the article, it said that jazz musicians were constantly pushing the boundaries of the genre. Maybe this part of the genre is normal, but jazz musicians are always developing new styles or seeing what else they can do. So that means they're pushing the boundary. They're sort of growing the genre. All right, and number 5 is the word mob. Mob just means mafia. It's like the nickname for the mafia. A person in the mafia is called a mobster. Or any kind of similar crime organization. So in America, there's a lot of mafia movies. There's a lot of TV shows that show mafia families and things like that. And in the show or on TV or in the newspaper, especially a long time ago in the 1960s and 70s, they called them mobs or mobsters, the Las Vegas mob, or there's mobsters on the corner of that street or something like that. So the word mob is a kind of nickname for mafia. All right, those are our 5 vocab words, and let's move on to our discussion questions. There are also 5 discussion questions. Let's look at question number 1. It says, have you ever listened to jazz music before? And what do you think of it? So just tell me your opinion about jazz music. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not understand it? And what do you like about it? Number 2, who is a famous jazz musician in your country? Please teach me something about that. I talked about Frank Sinatra in America and his history. Of course, you don't have to give me a really long, detailed history. Just something small is okay. But tell me about a famous jazz musician in your country. Number 3, have you ever been to Las Vegas, or would you like to go? If you've never been to Las Vegas, please just tell me, what do you think of Las Vegas? Or how do you know about Las Vegas? Did you see any TV or movies about Las Vegas or anything like that? Please tell me about it. Number 4, what is your favorite music genre and why do you like it? What is your favorite music genre and why do you like it? And number 5, the last one, are there any places in Japan that are famous for pop culture, music, or celebrities? So in today's article, we talked about Las Vegas and how it was this really famous place for jazz and Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. But how about in your country, in Japan? Are there any really famous places known for creating a culture of music, or maybe it could be similar to like Hollywood in California, how it's this big culture center for actors and movie stars and things like that. Does that exist in Japan or in your country? Please tell me about it. All right, guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching my video, episode 67. Wow, we've made so many videos already, and I look forward to hearing your answers, answers to your discussion questions. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.